Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In previous videos, we have already looked into how to implement JWT Authentication in Node.js, which is our backend. And in this tutorial, we will learn how to connect the front end to the backend in React. So now let's just quickly look at what we're going to learn. We have the home page, we have the login, also the sign up as well, and I will show you all of the codes. So right here we have the API folders. Basically this is our backend in Node.js, and we already looked into the route with the auth, post, and the middleware as well. And right here this is a new one which is in React. So this folder is called client, and we have different components, we have services, and we will go through the file one by one. And let's just take a quick look at the Postman. So how does the application work? Right here we have the sign up with the endpoint here. Basically when I hit the send button, then this user will be created. It's called james@gmail.com with the password here. And we also have the login, and this is the endpoint to get all of the users. So by default we have two, which is john@gmail.com and jack@gmail.com. and let's just quickly click on this, and you can see we have two results, and this is all of the posts. This one here, this is the private post that require the access token, so with the header of XAuth token. So now let's just quickly try to create this new user called james@gmail.com with the password is random. So click send, and as you can see, this user has been created with the access token as well. So now let's just try to sign in or log in using the information here. So when I click on the send button, and you can now see that this is the information that we get from the backend, including the access token and the refresh token. So to view the private post, we will need to provide the access token. Let's just quickly copy this here. So there's an expiration time as well. So right now I set it to 1 minute, and this is the private. Let's just quickly paste it here and click on the send button, and you can see we are now able to view the private content. It's called post 3 is private, right? And after 1 minute, this token, the access token here, will be expired. And to generate a new one, this is another one, this link right here. So we will need to provide the refresh token to be able to generate a new access token. And we also have the logout here as well. So now let's just take a look at the React. We will be looking at each file one by one. Let's get started. Alright, now the back end and the front end are now running. As you can see, this is in Node.js, our back end, and this one right here, this is the React, which is our front end. So both are running, and now let's start with the React. And also I won't actually go through the Node.js right here because we have already looked into that. I would recommend you to go watch the video, and you will be able to understand everything. Here we start with the services folder, right? And this one here, this is the auth.service.js. So what is this file about? Well, basically we create the functions. We have the sign up, we have the login, we have the logout, and get the current users. And down here we just export all of the functions to be able to use it in the other file. So we have also defined the API URL as well. So this will be /auth, and if we were to look at this right here, we can also see that it will be /auth/signup, right? So we just need to define it right here, then we can start using this, and /the sign up. And this is, we are using post request with the parameter that accepts the email and password here as well. And if it's successful sign up, then we get this informations with the response dot data dot access token. So basically we want to get the access token, right? So when we create a new user, then we will want to get the access token right here, right? So if that exists, then we want to store that information to the local storage, and we call this as user. So right here you can see that this is just saying response.data, and right here it's just returning this information back, right? So let's just say if there is the refresh token here as well, then we will also store the refresh token. But our setup is in this sign up, we only return the access token. So the access token will be stored again in the local storage. And down here, this is the login. So basically, we are the same using the post request with the information like email, password, and if the access token does exist, then we want to store the information, right? So right here, let's just quickly go to the login again and click on the send button. In this case, we have the access token and the refresh token. So right here, if we were to store, it will be including the refresh token as well as the access token, right? And right here, this is the logout, which is quite simple. We just want to remove the user that include information such as refresh token and access token out of the local storage. And this function right here, this is the get current user. So what this does, basically we want to get the information that is stored in the local storage of the browser, which is called user right here. And down here, we just export it so that we can use it. So the next file here is the auth header. So basically we just want to export this, and first we just get the information from the local storage, which is called user, and then we check whether the user actually exists or not, and if it exists as well as the access token does exist, then we want to return the user.access token. So we want to return the access token with the header of XOF token. So let's take a look here. So this is the all private post. If we want to use the all private post, then we will need to provide the header here. It's called XOF token. So it's just returning that header right here. And next one here is the post.service.js. We have import the auth header, right, which is this one here. And let's just take a look what's inside this file. We have the get all public post. So basically we just use the get request and without having the providing the header. So in the all public request, you can see in the headers there's actually nothing. The same for the body. But in here, this is the getting all of the private posts. We provide the endpoint, right, /post, right, /post, and /private. Right here we need to provide the header. So again, what is inside this header? We have defined it as the XOF token right here. So we have the XOF token, and this is the access token, right? And again, because our Node.js, our backend, we set up using this header XOF token. That is why we don't need to use this. So normally people are using the bearer, right, for the authorization header. But in our case, we are using the XOF token. So this is the private post, and down here we just need to export getting all of the posts, public posts as well as the private posts. Then we can start using this. Next is inside our components folder. We have home, we have login, private, and also the sign up. So start with the home.js first. So what is this about? Well, basically we import the post service, right? And down here we have the home. We set the post by default it's empty, and we use the use effect whenever that the page load, then we will call this function. So what is this function? This is the public post. If it's successful, then we want to get all of the posts from the backend, and we set this to this variable called post, right? And down here we just looping through to see all of the public posts. So quickly look at this. You can see when I refresh this page, and without login, we can see the public post. Post 1 is free, post 2 is also free, right? The same as this one here. So next, let's look at the login.js. So this file here, we have imported the Auth service, and up here we are using the React Router DOM, which is the use navigate. So this is a new one. Right now I'm using the React Router DOM version 6, so that is why we need to use this one. So down here, this is how we define, and this is the handle login. Let's just quickly look at the screen as well. So we have this text field. We have the first one here is to enter the email address, and this is the password, and we have the login button. Okay, so this is the handle login, the login button. We just prevent the default from submitting, and down here we have the try and catch block. We are using the await, the asynchronous call. Here we have the service that we reported up here, dot login with the parameter of email, password, and then what we're gonna do if it's successful, if the information does exist in the backend, it match the information in the backends, then we want to navigate that user, the user that have just logged in, to the home page, and we want to refresh the page. Otherwise, we're going to show the error. The same for this one here as well. So this is basically the form. We have the on submit, calling the handle login, and this is the first one, the entering the email, and this is the second input with the password, right? And yep, it as simple as that. And right here we have the sign up. So for the sign up, similar to the login, we have the email, the password, and instead of using or calling the login, we just call the sign up. So let's just take a look what is this sign up about. And as you can see, this is the file that I have already shown you as well. We have the /sign up, and if successfully sign up, then we save the information, and this one here include the access token, right? So I will also show you in the console log as well, but now let's just see down here exactly the same as the login. Okay, so next one here is the private. This is the private. I think that we will get into this. So first let's start login so that you can see what is actually happening. So now, since we have already created a new user called james@gmail.com, and with the password of random, we can actually start using the information here. So let's just paste it here, and password is random. Okay, so now we can click on the login button, but before that, let's just see. We want to navigate the user to the home page and reload the page if we successfully log in. Okay, so now let's just click on this button here. So it's successful, then navigate the user to the home page and refresh this page. And now you can see instead of showing login and sign up, we can now see the logged out and with the private tab on top here as well. So now let's just see the sign up this time. Okay, what we expect to see if we create a, now let's just quickly sign out, create a new user. So go to the sign up. Let me also show you the inspection in the console log as well, because we have already implemented the validations. So I want to show you is to check for the token, as well as if the user is already exists, then we want to see that message in the console log. So since we have just created the user called James, we can start using the same one with the password of random. Okay, so it will be 6 character long, and click on the sign up button. Okay, so here you can see even though it say that the sign up is successful, but actually we get the error message. What error message is? It just say that the error with the email as well as the message saying that the user already exists. If you you might be wondering that why is that it returning the 200. I also explained that in the previous video as well, because if you look at the big platform like Facebook or Twitter, even though the user already exists, but they are returning the 200. Okay, so that we are the same principle, we're just using the same concept here. So now you can see that right here, and instead of showing this as sign up successfully, we actually can get rid of this. So that is not really important about this one here. So what I want to actually show you is the successful sign up for the new users. Okay, so now instead of James, I change this to Jim, and with the same password here. And now let's just click on the sign up. So here you can see we now can get the information, which is the access token, right? So that means this user have already been created. And right here we get the response, and this one here is basically the same thing as this one, right? Whenever that a new user is created, then we returning the access token. So that's a reason why we can see this one here. Okay, so this is now completed. Then I can comment this out, and now let's just uncomment these two. So whenever that a new user is created, we want to navigate that user to the home page and reload the page, which is the same as the login. Okay, so now let's just quickly do it here. So Jim have been created, and now what's next is I want to show you this to create a new one. So I'm going to call this as newuser@gmail.com. Let's just put anything and click on the sign up button. This will navigate to the home page and refresh this page. Okay, so now we can see this private tab. And now let's just take a look at our backend as well. So this is to get all of the user. So click on the send button. You can see we have John, we have Jack, we have James, which is created through the front end in React. The same for Jim, and this one right here, this is the newuser@gmail.com. Okay, so that means that it's now working. And next is to show you is the private. So what this does, we import the post service. We also have the auth service as well, and this is the React router DOM using the same one, the use navigate, right? And this is using the use effects, the same similar thing. We have the post service. We want to get the all of the private posts. So if that's successful, then we want to set the data. So what do we expect to see in the private post? Well, we want to see the information here. Post 3 is private. Okay, so we set that here, and if there's an error, then meaning that it's invalid, we will check for the status code as well, equal to 403. Then what we want to do, if we want to log out, we want to log the user out and navigate to the sign. Basically this one is sign in page. Okay, so we want to if the access token become invalid, if it expire, then we want to navigate that user to the sign in page again, right? And we reload this page. So Let me just quickly show you this one here as well. So this access token have already expired after 1 minute. Then we click on this send button, and you can see that it's showing invalid token with the status code of 403. Okay, so that is this one here. And now let's just try to click on this private to see if we still have access, if the access token is still valid. And as you can see, it's already expired. So now it navigates to the actually not signed in. It's supposed to be logged in. Okay. So this is the right endpoint, the right path. Okay. So now let's just start the same. Let's just do jim@gmail.com with the password random login, and we would be able to see the private again. Okay. Now let's take a look again. So we have already changed this to login, and now let's navigate to the private. Click on that, and here you can see because the access token it's already expired, then it navigate to the login page, so that user have to log in again after the access token expire. And right here we just looping through all of the private posts, and this is the private post. Okay, so next here is the index.js. So what is this about? Well, we have import the React router DOM using the browser router as a router, and we just wrap it around the app component. And now let's take a look at the app component. We have imported the React router DOM. So previously in the previous versions, we were using switch, right? And now version 6 we change it to routes. And we also imported the Auth service, login page, sign up page. This is the home page, private page, and we have already installed the Bootstrap here as well. So what library do we need in this project? Well, we have the Axios, we have the Bootstrap, and this is the React router DOM version 6. Okay, so we can import the Bootstrap. We can start using here, and this is the app component. We have the setting the current user. So where is this coming from? Well, it's coming from the Auth service to get the current user. So what this function does, again, we just want to get the user from the local storage. So if that is user, then we want to set the information. This can be including the access token as well as the refresh token. Okay, so we set it right here, and this is the logout. So very simple. This one here just clear out the information from the local storage, and down here we have the menu on top here, right? So this menu we have the home. Navigating to home. Right here, if the current user does exist, then we want to show the private tab. Okay, if not, then we just hide it. The same for the logout. If the user is actually logged in or it does exist, then we want to show the logout button, and when clicking on that, it just call the function which is clearing out the local storage. And otherwise we just want to show the login and the sign up button. Okay, and down here we just navigating using the routes to the home, and right now it is updated to element. So previously it was component. Okay, and the format, we have to use this format as well. Yep, that's basically the app.js. And I just want to also show you. Okay, so here this is the local storage, and this is the user. Okay, so we have the access token as well as the refresh token. And if I click on the logout button here, this will be deleted. So clicking this, and you can see the user is deleted. And if I create a new user, so this time I would call this as well, react@gmail.com, any password, click on the sign up button, and you can now see the user, we only have the access token because again we set up it that way. Whenever the user created, then it just store the access token, but actually you can implement with the refresh token as well, the same as the login here. Okay, so yep, that's how we create the login, accessing the private as well. And if it's expired, then navigate the user to the login page again, and they can also click on the logout, right? And then it will navigate the user back to the login page. So you can see that this is how we connect the front end in React to the back end in Node.js. And we have defined the services, right? All of this information, and with the component we have home, login, private, and sign up. And we also have defined the menu in the app.js as well. And you can also see that we haven't really looked at the refresh token yet. Okay, so I will show you that in upcoming videos, but in this video we just focus on the access token. If it expires, then we just navigate the user to the login page again. If not, then the user will be able to view the private post. Also for the one more point is the logout here. Right here we just basically clearing out the local storage, right? But if you still remember in our previous video, the one in Node.js, we also have defined this logout as well. So to be able to log out, we will need to have the access token with the header here as well. And then when we click on the send button, then that user will be logged out. But in this example, we just quickly remove that from the local storage. If you want to implement it this way, that you can also do it here as well. But for the simplicity's sake, I just want to show you the simple one for now. So in upcoming video, I will show you different ways how to log the user out when the access token is expired. And I will also show you about how to implement the refresh token as well. So basically whenever that the current access tokens is expired, then we want to use the refresh token to generate a new access token without the user having to log in again and again. So for now, that will be it. And I hope you learn a lot from this tutorial. See you guys in the next video.